This is Goku's son, DBZ, and this is just a vlog. I thought I'd mention, in my opinion, I've been thinking about what are some of the most underrated science fiction shows. So I thought I'd play a little music. Now, sadly, I have just a small monitor set up behind me, so you can hear it. And at the very least, see a little bit. This is the intro of, in my opinion, one of like 7 or 8 of the most underrated science fiction shows of all time. Babylon 5. Babylon 5 was, of course, done by TNT. Turner Broadcasting, along with, of course, the funding of Time Warner, and also in association with Universal. A superb, excellent series that even had a spin-off, in my opinion, is even maybe one of the most unknown sci-fi shows of all time. Babylon 5, at the very least, had 5 seasons. Incredible seasons, but unfortunately its spin-off would only have 1 season in total. Also done by Turner, of course, called Crusade.
Find a cure to the drug plague before it wipes out all life on Earth. Where are you going? Anywhere I have to.
Now, there's not too much music, unfortunately. Now, one thing I found fascinating about this series is the introduction of a new race of aliens, which looks human, but uses magic, or rather science and technology, and make it look like science. And that race calls themselves the Techno Mage, which is quite interesting. Techno Mages. Now, there are many great underrated sci-fi shows. Crusade, in my opinion, is one of the most unknown sci-fi shows ever. Even many people who talk about underrated shows don't even remember or know about this series. And plus it being a branch off of Babylon 5. One of the best shows to ever come out of the 90s. So, with that said, next show is from Sci-Fi Channel, original series, done at the time by ADV Films, done by association with the Jim Henson Company. In my opinion, Farscape is the greatest science fiction show of all time, and thanks to great actresses such as Claudia Black and many others. And this awesome music. Now, this is the intro to Season 4 of Farscape, just so you know. Total 4 seasons, then there would be a special sci-fi original movie called The Peacekeeper Wars to end the actual storyline of the series. Incredibly underrated and a true science fiction masterpiece. Next is maybe one of the other greatest shows to come out in the 1990s, done by NBC, where you could travel through parallel dimensions. This would be the show that got me obsessed over an interest into dimensional physics, theoretical science. There's many fascinating facts about this show. But of course, it's simply called Sliders. Most people, including myself, would rather forget about Season 5, but Seasons 1 through 3 were masterpieces. Season 4 I still enjoyed. Next, we have one of the greatest Gene Roddenberry shows of all time, by far criminally underrated, called Earth Final Conflict, which was on WGN. Involving, I'll let the intro speak for itself, but it's about a race called the Talons. Basically, extraterrestrial Buddhists with energy powers and abilities. But then there would be a branch off, sort of, in its final season, the ancestors of the Talons, the Avidus, with energy absorbing claws. And that is Dawn, the original head of the Talons. And here we go. The intro to the greatest Star Trek series of all time, and in my opinion, the most underrated. Definitely the best well-written Star Trek series, hands down, of all time. And maybe not anymore the most underrated, that may be Enterprise, but at one time this was most definitely the most underrated. Still a criminally underrated show for its script writing, its concepts, and all the issues it would introduce. Plus, revolving strictly around a space station. Plus, we would at the end of the series see a great galactic war, and also dealing with the Dominion. Many particular species of aliens introduced in the Trek universe, and in my opinion, this is Star Trek at its zenith. Its greatest moment, its greatest achievement, and the greatest series from the mind of Gene Roddenberry. Unfortunately, this would be the first series that would not have Gene Roddenberry, for he unfortunately passed away before Deep Space Nine came to life on the small screen. And maybe the greatest Star Trek theme of all time, by John Williams. And those are a few shows I thought I would show intros to, so you get the idea and concept behind them, introduce you maybe a couple shows you've never heard of before. But with that said, this is Goku-san DBZ, and I'll see y'all next time. Same YouTube time, same YouTube channel. Let me know if you would like me in the future to do this with maybe another genre TV show or something. And if so, I'd be more than happy to introduce you to maybe some shows you've not heard of. But with that said, I'll see everyone again next time here in YouTube land. And stay tuned for some new game playthroughs coming up soon, as well as comic book reviews.